All right, guys, so in case you missed it, last night was the 2020 Mr. Olympia prejudging. And so in case you missed it, here's a little bit of it. Now, as we look right off the bat, we go from left to right. We go Hadi. We see Big Ramy there. You see Phil Heath, Brandon Curry, William Bonac. Those are really the top four guys we want to talk about right now. Those are the top four guys that are going to be in the mix when it's all said and done. But right off the bat, the person I noticed the most is not Phil Heath or Brandon Curry. It's Big Ramy. I mean, when you see some of these poses coming up, the separation in his upper body, the separation in his quads and his hamstrings and his glutes is just insane. And we'll get to him in just 1 minute. Let's go to Phil because he's in the center of the lineup right now. I thought that Phil looked really good. I think his midsection was much better than last year, despite what other people were saying. His side poses, he seemed to have his gut under control. He seemed to have it controlled throughout most of his routine. But there were some moments when he let it slip, and you could still see that infamous gut that Phil has had. In this pose right here, look at Big Ramy. Look at the separation in his hamstrings. He far outdoes a better job than Phil Heath or Brandon Curry. Now, as we get to the back pose, this is one thing where Big Ramy kind of suffers. When you look at back, and no one beats Phil in the back double bicep pose right here. Phil just brings it, and Big Ramy just is a bit underdeveloped. Brandon looks great from the back. Phil looks great from the back, except look at Brandon's legs. They just aren't up to par. He doesn't have the mass, and he has not done anything since last year to make his legs better. They look almost exactly the same. And that was one of the knocks on him last year was his legs. And you can see it right in this pose right here, and this lat spread right here. His hamstrings, the back of his legs, he just does not have it there. But look how big Ramy is. Look how wide he is. In fact, I would say Big Ramy and Hadi are bigger than Phil. Even Brandon has a better back spread than Phil does in that pose right there. Again, we turn to the side, and this is where Phil really needs to get he kept it in great control here. Look at the triceps on Big Ramy. Look at his legs. Look at the separation compared to everyone else on stage. The separation in the hamstrings and the glutes and the quads that Big Ramy is bringing to the show this year. It is really just insane. Let's talk about Hadi Chopin for a second. Hadi looked good. You can see something in his abs right there. It looks like, look at that pose right there from Hadi. Just insane. But Hadi looked good. He didn't look as conditioned or as dry as he did last year. But remember, this guy just landed, I think, on Wednesday or Tuesday. He only had a couple days to really prepare for this. He's been in Iran or whatever the hell he was at, trying to get ready. He just got here, so we'll see what happens tonight with Hadi. I still think he looked really good, but look at this most muscular. Look at Big Ramy, just insane. The size of this man. He is shredded to the bone. This might be the best Big Ramy that we have ever seen. Now, as we went on through the night, they got rid of William Bonac, who I've not spoke of yet, and they put Hadi in there. Now, these guys rotated around Big Ramy at the end of the night. Phil switched with Brandon, but they left they left Big Ramy in the middle for the most of the night. When it got down to the nitty-gritty, Big Ramy did not move. And they moved Phil and they moved Brandon. And they were comparing Phil and Brandon to Big Ramy. And I think that right now, look at that separation, guys. Look at his legs right now compared to everyone else's. And look at Brandon's legs are just very, very small compared to the other guys. Right now, I think that it is Big Ramy to lose. And again, the back, there's a lot to be left for Big Ramy here. He just doesn't have the back development that a guy like Phil does, who's an all-time great, and even Brandon. These guys are just have amazing backs. But again, you're talking about one pose here. And so when it got down to the nitty-gritty at the end of the night, who was always in the middle? Like I said, Big Ramy. The lat spread right there, he's massive. Even Hadi is massive from the back. If you look at Big Ramy's back compared to Phil, the width of it is just insane. And even, to me, even Brandon beats Phil in that lat spread right there. Thought Phil looked good, but I don't think Phil is going to take it this year. He just doesn't have it in the legs compared to a Big Ramy. Even a Hadi has better legs right now. I know I keep going back to it. Look at Brandon's legs. Look how much outsized they are. And look at the mass you can see on Big Ramy and the separation, the detail. So let me know what you guys think. If you watched it, if you watch this video right here, comment below. Abs and thighs. again, just right there, Phil's gut kind of comes out. He does not have the best midsection of them all. Big Rami's midsection, Hadi's midsection are really looking very, very tight and very good. But right there, Phil kind of lets it loose a little bit, and you can see where that gut is again. Not as bad as last year, not a bubble gut, but still not controlled. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you have winning? I have Big Rami.